Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It all depends on where you are located on the globe. I just thought I'd quickly jump on so that we can talk about what's going on in the world. Articles that are cropping up in the news, whether you read a physical article or, like just watching news on your TV screens. I came across an article that I was reading, not just one, but plenty. And thank God for TikTok. I know other people despise it, but sometimes you do get some absolutely important educational things going on there. It all depends on what you're looking for as a person. But I saw this article from one of the newspapers and it was talking about how the European Union has urged its citizens to prepare for crisis and they should prepare with 72 hours of survival kits. And as many of you are aware, if you do follow the blog, where we're free to have, how can I put it, to have, free conversations that are not monitored and where we're not penalized. You will always see that like we have very authentic conversations over on the blog. And I remember I did share a dream that I had, concerning war and wars to come and just, great earthquake that's coming, different things, like that I have, like shared that God has shown me in my dreams. But anyway, so yeah, I can't remember what I was looking at, but it's to do with just, like trying to catch up with the news and what's going on in the world. And I saw this article today. It says, 450 million Europeans to prepare with a 72-hour survival kit. And I sat there and I was like, oh, wow, because this is quite a stark message, to give to nearly 450 million citizens of the EU. And for those who don't know, the EU is the European Union. But yeah, so basically the European Union has issued a call to prepare for, potential crisis. And I think they're not limiting it to just saying war. They're saying crisis and then including it there, like war, natural disasters, And I think maybe not to scare people. They're just saying, oh, it's part of a new directive, so families, individuals should assemble a 72-hour survival kit, like making sure that you're equipped to withstand 3 days without external aid, but you have to really read in between the lines and think, they're not just going to push this agenda for no good reason. And I won't call it an agenda. They'll just want to push this message for no good reason. You know, the wise listen, the wise listen. It's important that as much as we are feeding our spiritual man, we need to be aware of our surroundings and be intentional about our surroundings and the things that we are doing, So they're saying that this is, this morning is in response to, the growing concerns over global instability and the unpredictable, times and nature that we're in. And if you remember, I can't remember which dream it was, which year, but like if you go on the blog, you will see all this. It's all there. I think lately I haven't shared much of my dreams in there, but I will try and update it and, like add more. I tend to write down my dreams in my diary and, I should call it a journal, depending on what you call it. But yeah, I need to update more things in there. But yeah, so I feel like it's very important that we talk about these things and we shouldn't be blind. We shouldn't be um, naive. Yeah, that's the better word. We shouldn't be naive. I know there's so many people questioning, oh, is this significant? Is this significant? Is this important? But I believe that it's very significant, And, I know there are other people who do not believe that this will happen. They're really, really naive and they're like, what's the possibility of that happening? Like, what are the possibilities of that, that kind of thing happening? But I believe that we are living in dangerous times, I will call it. We are living in dangerous times. And I know that there are naysayers out there, non-believers out there who think that this is all a joke. But I believe the Bible is unfolding right before our eyes every day. Every day, the Bible is unfolding right before our eyes. So I believe that it's very important that we take heed. I was reading the article and I also saw some little clips on TikTok, I believe, and they were talking about how the kits should include essentials like food, water, first aid supplies, and other necessities, just so that in the event that this crisis happens, like then you are ready, and you've got your little survival kit going, and you're not caught like the unprepared, virgins in the Bible who didn't have enough oil for their lamps. And I believe that this call for preparedness, it kind of mirrors, biblical principles about foresight and stewardship. The Bible encourages us to be prudent. We have to take prudent steps in the face of uncertain times. We can't just be gullible. We can't be naive. We can't just be unprepared. We have to take all measures to prepare as best as we can instead of just living in a make-believe world where we think these things are not happening. We can't be that blind. Proverbs 22 verse 3 tells us that the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. So I believe that we have to be prudent. And in the face of danger, when we see things, when we sense things, let's take refuge. Let's not be like the simpletons who just keep going, paying no mind, as if these things are not happening around us, because there will always be a great penalty to pay if you do not take heed of the warning that is coming. I believe that in times of looming crisis, both the spiritual and the practical preparedness is very vital. So we have to be prepared, spiritually, but also practically, so that we're not caught unaware, that we're not, knocking on other people's doors when we should be taking refuge, trying to find supplies when we could have done the preparing, in good time. We've had so much warning, And so, yeah, let's be practical about these things. When we read in Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13, it's the parable of the 10 virgins. And I always emphasize in this, I can never emphasize on it enough. I mean, if you go on the blog or go on YouTube and watch a lot of the videos that are on there, I talk about this quite a bit. Maybe some people are even tired of me talking about it, but it's very important that we emphasize the importance of being prepared and vigilant for unexpected challenges. We have to keep watch because we do not know the day nor the hour. Jesus warns us, he's always urging us for readiness for what may come, whether in the form of natural disasters or geopolitical unrest. We have to be wise. We have to be wise. So please, I urge you, go and read Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13, the parable of the 10 virgins. It will bless your heart. It will bless your soul. And it will just encourage you to be more prepared, and not to take these things for granted. Because the worst thing we could ever do is to pretend like these things are not happening and, put ourselves in a space where we are not prudent, not proactive. So let's be proactive about our safety. Let's be proactive about our, survivor needs and gather what we can little by little. And I know that we are in a time where inflation is high. Living costs are very high. Things are just expensive, but We don't have to do everything in one go. I believe that if we do it little by little, all it simply means is that we are prepared to some degree. That way, when things come and, the crisis hit or whatever is coming hits, you will have some type of, little kit going for you instead of completely being unable to take care of yourself. So just buy those little bits and bobs, as we call it, little bits and bobs just to, prepare you. And I believe that as the European Union continues to, emphasize on preparedness, the words of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, should offer an additional guidance to us, And, First Timothy 5, verse 8, I'll just turn my Bible to it so we can read together. And it reads, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I'll just read that again. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So I just want to encourage us today that while we may be hearing directives from whether the United Nations or the European Union or whatever country you're from, whatever directives they may be giving out, and it may seem like maybe it's just a civil concern, I believe that it really aligns, with a broader biblical understanding of responsibility towards each other, one's family, and our communities. So let's not take this for granted. We are definitely experiencing, an uncertainty. We're in an uncertain era, as I call it. So I believe that this call to prepare is not just about survival, but about maintaining hope and trusting God's providence while being wise stewards, of the resources at our disposal. So let us balance faith and practicality in preparation. I believe that this is going to be crucial in navigating what is coming. I know some people take it for granted, but trust me, you do not want to find yourself in a position where you are unprepared. So let us absolutely take heed and prepare and balance the faith with action by preparing, because this will help you navigate, both the natural and society storms that are coming, that are here already, but we haven't seen the best of them yet. So I just wanted to encourage us today and stay hopeful in the Lord. And God bless you. And we'll catch up again and, soon. So see you soon. And don't forget to share this with your loved ones so that we can all get prepared. Amen. God bless you. Bye-bye.